gather in, ladies and gentlemen. We have the latest update on the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, and his contract negotiations. Let's take a look in what Matt Mayoko is currently reporting that has some of the internet in a bit of a tizzy, I guess, maybe you could say. Matt says, when I was on KMBR this morning, I was asked about Brock Purdy's contract negotiations. Bottom line, Purdy's side has not accepted what the 49ers want, and the 49ers have not accepted what the other side wants. That's how negotiations work. In other words, nothing has changed. Somehow, some way, this has elicited a response from people. I'm sorry. I can only laugh at this point. I'm so over covering contract negotiations with this team. I don't care. Wake me up when he signs. Like, I don't care. Like, we have gone through so many ridiculous negotiations. Um, and again, it's not ridiculous in the sense that, you know, we're paying players that don't deserve it. Like, we have good players, they deserve to get paid, and a negotiation follows. It's just like, because we are so prone to these long drawn out negotiations, we've had multiple players do the social media scrub, and not saying that that's happening with Brock, but it's gotten to the point where I'm so disinterested in really anything that's going on with the negotiation until something happens. Um, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because other people are like are somehow interpreting this as a negative towards Brock, negative towards the team. It's just like Mayoko's just saying, like, they've both presented offers and neither one has accepted it. It's like, yeah, yeah. That's how negotiations work. And this isn't a slight at Mayoko either. I think Mayoko's kind of in the same boat. He's just kind of saying, like, everyone relax, like, everyone calm down. It it it's par for the course, I think, is kind of what Mayoko is grasping at. I don't want to speak for Mayoko. I know, I get it. Aggregators, they can be frustrating, right? Because sometimes things get taken out of context, things can be misconstrued. I understand. But I think what Mayoko is saying, if I can do my best, interpretation, is he's just saying that this is normal. Like, this is par for the course. And again, there are a lot of things that go on in negotiations that you would be super surprised if you had found out about them. But that's par for the course, right? What we really care about when it's all said and done is, did they sign? Did they not sign? Was there irreversible damage? Was there not irreversible damage? Because if there is, we know what that means. Player likely gets traded, etc. But I don't sense that's currently happening. I sense it's going to be a tough negotiation. I sense it's going to be an interesting negotiation. I sense that they're not far. They're far apart. There's a gap. There's always a gap, and it's always about shrinking that gap and meeting in the middle and getting to. It's almost like getting to a number where both sides kind of feel maybe uncomfortable. I always feel like those are the best deals when both sides are kind of like, when both sides are kind of like, yeah, all right, fine. It's like, yeah, okay, we both come across, not getting exactly what we want, but we've been able to kind of meet in the middle. I don't know if that's going to happen here. I don't know what the situation is going to bear out. I just find it interesting that a lot of the responses that are coming from this. We heard the thing about Puka talking about his contract, saying if the window's closed, if he signs for 50 plus, and it's still open if he signs for 45, which is just an asinine take. I forget who said it. Someone on Twitter. I believe it was a reporter for CSN. Man, I wish I could find it right off the bat. I got it right here. He basically said, if that's how you think this all works, he says, this is Alex Sherman of CSNBC. He's a sports reporter. He says, if you think the Niners Super Bowl window is open at 45 million a year for Purdy and closed at 50 million a year, you really don't understand the salary cap or football economics. 100%. Like, you think that a average annual salary of 5 million is going to change? That doesn't even represent a cap hit. That doesn't even represent cap space, because that's a different set of circumstances. So again, it's just fatigue. I think people have fatigue. I think people again, I think it's fans default want to get the best deal for a player. Of course, fans don't want to overpay, because fans perceive an overpay as losing, the team losing, and then losing out on potentially other players. Of course, like, you don't want to sign a player to a contract that is going to cripple your franchise. No one wants that. No one is advocating for that. No one is saying that Brock Purdy signing a deal at market value will do that. You have to keep in mind, when he signs, the cap space will get kicked out. You can backload this thing if you want. You can really set the hits back a couple years. You can put outs in the contract after 3 years. You can renegotiate the contract to just, again, if he's your guy after 3 more years, all right, well, let's do this again. And we'll just take that cap space and we'll kick it down the curb again. And you just keep creating space. And we know, guy, like, 3 years down the road from now, is Trent Williams going to be playing? Is Kyle Juszczyk going to be here? Does Kittle retire 3 years from now? Is he still playing? These are all questions. Like, the roster is going to evolve. The roster is going to look fundamentally different in 3 years from now than it does right now. So, is Christian McCaffrey going to be here in 3 years? I don't know. But that's the whole point. It's like, if you draft well and you are able to get cost controlled rookies and players on their first year, first phase of their rookie deal, that's how you sustain success, right? Have key veterans at key spots, draft well, develop, and have a mixture of veteran, high priced players and younger players who are on their rookie deals. So, yeah, I really, I don't think there's really anything new that you can add to this situation. I think we've all discussed it. We've all set our pieces on it. There's nothing new. There's nothing new to add unless some news comes out of something being newsworthy. And so far, there isn't. And trying to, I think, make um, this like comment into something bigger than it is, I just feel like it's pretty normal for, I think, the climate of 49er fans and where we're at. So I think the 49ers get it done. Um, I'm not concerned about it. I don't think that an average salary of 45 to 50 makes or breaks the 49ers at all. Um, yeah, I don't I'm not buying it, but some people agree with Puka. All right. You can let me know in the comments below though. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.